Hello, can you solve these nice math problems? We're asked to find the solution of 8x multiplied 8 to the power of x multiplied by 4 to the power of x equal to 30. Now, before we start, I want you to note one important thing, that 2 to the power of 3 can be equal to 8, right? As well as 2 to the power of 2 can also be equal to 4. So in this case, we can replace 8 and 4 with these values. So with that in mind, let's start off. We're going to have that expression to now give us 2 to the power of 3, or multiply by the power of x, and this will be multiplying 2 to the power of 2, or multiply to the power of x, and this will be equal to 30. Now at this point, where should we take it to? Remember the rules of indices. 3x and 2x can multiply, and this will give us what? 2 to the power of 3x, because we have the exponent multiplication, multiply by 2 to the power of 2x, right? And this will be equal to 30. Great. Now, what rule in indices can you apply to expand these two expressions? Let's find out. In the rule of indices, remember, if you have a to the power of x multiplying a to the power of y, these are two bases. We'll take up one base and then we'll add the what? The exponent or the power. And that is exactly the rule we are going to use. So if we apply that rule here, we're going to have 2 to the power of 3x adding up to 2x, and this will be equal to 30. Great. Now let's look at how we can add, because they have the same variable x and x. Then 3 can add 2. 3 plus 2 will give us 5. So we'll have that expression to become 2 to the power of 5x equal to 30. Now at this point, what can we do? At this point, what can we do? At this point, what we are simply going to do is to simplify. So what idea do you think you can bring into this that can simplify this further? I don't think we'll have any other idea, because we cannot make 30 to have the same base with what? We cannot make 30 to have the same base as 2, because 30 cannot be expounded to that extent. So as a result of that, we are going to just simply apply the laws of logarithm. So we are going to take the logarithm of both sides. We'll take the log of 2 to the power of 5x, and that will be equal to the log of 30. That way, we can be able to simplify this expression. Now, if we simplify this according to the law of logarithm, this can simply come over here. We'll multiply the log of that value, and then we'll have 5x multiplying the log of 2, and this will be equal to the log of 30. So what do we have? To simplify further, we're going to divide both sides by the log of 2, and if we divide both sides by the log of 2, then we can be able to simplify the left hand side. If we divide both sides by the log of 2, this will definitely cancel out this. Log of 2 will cancel out log of 2, and that will be left with 5 what? 5x, and this will be equal to the log of 30 divided by the log of 2. Great. So we are bringing it down to a more simpler terms. Now what do we do? From this point, you can see that 30 can also be expounded. 30 can be expounded to give us 2 multiplied by 15, right? 2 multiplied by 15 can give us 30. So we expand that. If we expand that, we're going to have 5x to be equal to the log of 2 multiplied by 15 divided by the log of 2. Now, what do we have here? According to the law of logarithm, remember that if we have log of AB, which simply means that A is multiplying B, this can be equal to the log of A plus the log of B. That's simply the rule of multiplication of logarithm. This rule, we can write this expression to become 5x equal to the log of 2 plus the log of 15, and this will be divided by the log of 2. So at this point, we can isolate these parts to still give us 5x equal to log of 2 divided by the log of 2, and this time around is going to be plus the log of 15 divided by the log of 2. So from here, you will notice that the log of 2 will cancel out the log of 2, and we'll be left with what? 1 over here plus the log of 15 divided by the log of 2. And this is going to give us 5 what? 5x. Now, at this point, what do you think we can do in order to simplify this expression? What can we do in order to simplify this expression? To simplify this expression, we are going to simplify 15 further. Now, you can see that 15 can also be simplified further to give us 3 multiplied by what? By 5. So if we simplify that, we're simply going to have 5x equal to 1 plus log of 3 multiplied by 15, and all of these will be divided by the log of 2. Now, following this and following that same law of logarithm, we can isolate 3 and 5, and that will be equal to 1 plus log of 3 plus log of 5, all divided by log of 2. Now, just as we did in the initial case, we're going to separate that, and that will give us 5x equal to 1 plus log of 3 divided by log of 2 plus log of 5 divided by log of 2. Now at this point, you can see that we have simplified this maths solution to a much simpler stage. Now at this point, I want you to bear in mind one important rule. From the rule of logarithm, the rule states that if you have a log of log A dividing log of B, this can be equal to log of A base B. The denominator becomes the what? The base, and the numerator becomes the log. So if we apply this here and apply it here, you're going to have that expression to now give us 5x equal to 1 plus log of 3 base 2 plus log of 5 base what? Base 2. Great. Now at this point, we can easily simplify. Great. Now at this point, if we simplify, we will simply divide both sides by what? By 5. And if we divide both sides by 5, all these other parts will be divided by 5. And with this, 5 will have to cancel out 5, and then we'll have our x value to simply be equal to 1 plus log of 3 base 2 plus log of 5 base 2, and all of these will be divided by log by what? By 5. So that is the solution. So the value of x we are asked to look for is equal to this log value. Many will say this is too large for a solution. Is there no way we can break it down? Of course, we can, but let's test to see if our solution is actually right. Now, if we look at that very well, you come to see that we are going to test, given the initial question, we have 8 to the power of x multiplying 4 to the power of x. Will it be equal to 30? We have 8 to the power of x multiplying 4 to the power of x. Will this be equal to 30? Now let's try it out using this solution we've gotten. From this solution, we've gotten our value of x to be that, and so if we apply that here, we're going to have 8 to the power of 1 plus the log of 3 base 2 plus log of 5 base 2 divided by what? By 5, and this will be multiplying 4 to the power of 1 plus log of 3 base 2 plus log of 5 base 2 divided by what? 5. Now, can all these be equal to 30? Let's find out. If we simplify this, remember that this will be what? This is going to give us 2 to the power of what? Of 3, and 2 to the power of 3 is equal to all of these values. And if we take all those values to be x, and this will be multiplying, let's simplify that, 4 to the power, this will be multiplying 2 to the power of what? 2 to the power of 2, all to the power of z, and this will be equal to 30. Now, can these two give us 30? Remember, we have equated all of these to be equal to z. That is to simplify our expression. We're still going to come back to that. Now, if you look at these two expressions, what do you think? If you look at these two expressions, they have the same base. This whole expression can still give us or make this expression to become 2 to the power of what? 2 to the power of x, 2 to the power of z plus 3 plus 5. So this is going to give us 3 plus 5, because according to the law of indices, this will give us 5 what? 5c, right? And all these will be equal to 30. So since they have one common base, this can add up to this, and if you simplify that, you are simply going to have this expression to be like 2. That expression will be like what? 2 to the power of 3z, right? Multiply by 2 to the power of 2z. And if you release this expression, you're going to see that this is going to give you 2 to the power of 5 what? 5z. Because you're going to have these two to be separated. That will be 2 to the power of z into bracket 3 plus 2, right? Because according to the law of indices, since this is multiplication, these two should do what? These two should add up. So if you add up, that is exactly what you're going to have. So we're going to have 2 to the power of 5 what? 5z. So since we have 2 to the power of 5z, remember our z is just equal to what we have it as. So this will give us 2 to the power of 5 multiply 1 plus log of, that is the value of our z, 3 base 2 plus log of 5 base 2, and all of this is divided by 5, and all of this is equal to 30. So from here, you can see that 5 can safely cancel out these 5, and then we'll be left with what? 2 to the power of 1 plus log of 3 raised 2 plus log of 5 raised 2. Now the question is, can all these be equal to 30? Solving mathematics question like this take patience. So we'll have what? If we simplify this, you're going to have this to become 2 to the power of 1. Since they are multiplication, remember the law of indices. If you have 2 to the power of x plus y plus z, this can simply be equal to 2x, 2 to the power of x multiplied by 2 to the power of y multiplied by 2 to the power of z. So if we apply that here, we're going to have this to be multiplied by 2 to the power of log of 3 base 2 multiplied by 2 to the power of log of 5 base 2. And will all these be equal to 30? Let's find out. Will all of that be equal to 30? That's the big question. We want to confirm our solution. Now, if you check this out, you're going to find out that the laws of logarithm state that if you have if you have a to the power of log of x is a, while this cut out this, your solution is just simply x. So if we apply that here, this is going to cut off this is going to cut off this, and then we'll be left with 2 to the power of 1 multiplied by 2 to the power of 3, right? Multiplied by 3. So if we work with that, we are going to have what? We're going to have that expression to now give us the solution, 2 to the power of 1, which is 2, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 5. Now will all this multiplication give us 30? Let's see. If you do that, you're going to have 2 multiplied by 3 is going to give us 6 multiplied by 5. Is it equal to 30? Of course it is. Then 30 is equal to what? Is equal to 30. So the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, which simply tells us that the solution x equal to this 1 plus log of 3 base 2 plus log of 5 base 2 divided by 5 is absolutely what? Correct. So you see, very easy and straightforward. If you did enjoy watching this math solution, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with friends and colleagues, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more simplified maths content. Thanks so much for watching and bye bye for now.